Today we're going to review equations in what we call a second look. This is a review day. First thing we're going to look at is just solving equations. Don't forget to distribute to remove parentheses, combine like terms, move variables to one side of the equation and constants to the other, solve for the variable, and then check your answer. The first question is a long bar fraction question, so we have to multiply by the denominator of 4 first on each side. This side will cancel, leaving you only with 3x plus 6 equals negative 12. To undo addition, you need to subtract the 6 from both sides. That leaves you with 3x equals negative 18. And your last step would be to divide by 3. So x equals negative 6. Equation number 2 does not have any parentheses, but you must combine like terms first. You must combine the negative 4 and the negative 5 because they are on the left side of the equation. You get 2x minus 9 equals 3x plus 5. And now you must move your variables to one side and your constants to the other. So I'm going to move my 2x to the right. That leaves me with negative 9 equals x plus 5. And then I'm going to move my constant of 5 to the left by subtracting. And that gives me negative 14 equals x. The proper way to write that would be x equals negative 14. The third problem has parentheses. So you must distribute first. 1/4 times 2m is 1/2 m. 1/4 times a negative 16 is 4. 1/2 times 2m is just 1m. And 1/2 times 4 is 2. So now we have to move our variables to one side and our constants to one side. I subtracted m. That leaves me with negative 1/2 m minus 4 equals 2. Add 4 to both sides. Negative 1/2 m equals 6. You can divide by the fraction of negative 1/2 or multiply by its reciprocal. It has to be negative though. So m equals negative 12. Solving equations. Remember, you can pause whenever you need to catch up. The next part is consecutive integers. Again, this is a review. Oh, actually, the next part is literal equations. So these are where you solve for one variable, and then you follow the steps for solving equations. The first one is we want to solve for n, which is right here. That is what we want to solve for. So since I noticed that 180 is being multiplied, the way you undo multiplication is division. So I would divide first by 180. That leaves me with s divided by 180 equals, remember your 180s cancel, n minus 2. I don't need my parentheses anymore. I'm still solving for n. He's right here. But there's a minus 2, so I have to add 2 to both sides. So my final answer would be n equals s divided by 180 plus 2. The second one has me solving for g. Again, I have parentheses that are being multiplied by h. So to undo multiplication, we divide. So we're going to divide both sides by h. That leaves me with a divided by h equals f plus g. I don't need my parentheses. I'm still looking for g. F is being added to g, so to undo addition, we subtract f from both sides. So a divided by h minus f will give us g. Remember, you can pause if you're confused or want to look over the work again. The third part is consecutive integers. Here are some hints. If it just says consecutive integers, it's x plus 1, x plus 2, etc. Even and odd work the same way. You always start with x, and then it's x plus 2, x plus 4, x plus 6. The first problem says list 3 consecutive integers whose sum is negative 42. So we need to have 3. So some people like to do this. The first number will be x. The second number will be x plus 1 because it's just consecutive. And the third number will be x plus 2. When we add those 3 numbers together, we get negative 42. X plus x plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals negative 42. Combining like terms, I get 3x plus 3 equals negative 42. And now I must solve for x. Subtract 3. X equals negative 45. Oops, sorry, 3x. And divide by 3. X equals negative 15. That is our first number. Then I want to add 1 to it. And then I want to add 2 to it. But that is not the question. What is the product of the smallest two integers? Negative 15 and negative 14 are the smallest. They are the furthest from 0. And if I multiply those two numbers together, negative 15 times negative 14, I get 210. So the answer is 210. The second problem is actually incorrect on your paper, so please fix it right here. It is 54, and we're now going to find 3 consecutive odd integers. Odd is key here. So our first number would always be x. Our second number is x plus 2, and our third number is x plus 4. And those 3 numbers have to add up to 54. X plus x plus 2 plus x plus 4 equals 54. Combining like terms, I get 3x plus 6 equals 54. Subtract 6. 3x equals 48. Divide by 3. X equals 16. So our very first number is 16, and then I need to add 2 to get 18, and then 4 to 16 to get 20. So those are my 3 numbers. And I have to find the product of the largest 2 numbers. That would be 18 times 20. That will give me 360. Oh, she's right. Cross out odd as well. We have to change this to even. I'm sorry. Even integers whose sum is 54. And we're going to get 360. Sorry, we have to fix that problem in 2 places. Sorry if I'm confusing you. The next problem is find 4 consecutive odd integers. We wanted to do one even and one odd, so that's why that one's a little bit crazy. So find 4 consecutive odd integers. So we have one number, whoops, 1 is just x. The second number will be x plus 2. The third number will be x plus 4. And the fourth number would be x plus 6. Adding them all together, we get negative 80. Remember, you can still pause whenever you need to pause. Combining like terms, you get 4x plus 12 equals negative 80. Subtract 12. 4x equals negative 92. Divide by 4. X equals negative 23. So that's our first number, negative 23. And then we have negative 21, negative 19, negative 17. And we want to know which one of those is closest to 0. Well, it would be this one, negative 17. That is the largest number, actually, so it is closest to 0. The last type of equations are word problems. So this one says you have $16 and a coupon for $5 discount at a local supermarket. A bottle of olive oil costs $7. How many bottles of olive oil can you buy? So your first step is to write the equation. You have $7 for a bottle of olive oil, but we don't know how many bottles of olive oil we can buy. We also have a coupon for $5 off. So it all depends on how many we can buy, and then they're going to take $5 off. And that's going to equal the $16 that we have. So 7 times a bottle of olive oil minus the $5 coupon will equal $16. Add 5 to both sides. 7x equals 21. Divide by 7. X equals 3. You can buy 3 bottles of olive oil. The next problem says William's age W and Jamie's age J are related by the equation W equals 2J minus 12. When William is 36 years old, how old is Jamie? So we have to substitute in for W a 36 and solve for J. So 36 equals 2J minus 12. Add 12 to both sides. 48 equals 3J. Divide by 3. Oh, I'm sorry, 2J. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to cross that. 2J. Divide by 2. J equals 24. So Jamie is 24 years old. And the last problem says one health club charges $50 sign-up fee and $65 per month. Another club charges $90 sign-up fee and $45 per month. For what number of months is the cost of the clubs equal? We saw a problem like this in one of our warm-ups, so we have to write 2 equations. 50 for the sign-up fee plus 65 per month equals 90 plus 45 per month. And we have to figure out when are they equal. So you can subtract 50 from both sides. 65x equals 40 plus 45x. and then subtract 45x from each side. So 20x equals 40, divide by 20, x equals 2. Another way to solve this is if you had a calculator, you could always go to your y equals and put your two equations in. y1 equals 50 plus 65x, and y2 equals 90 plus 45x, and then second graph to look at the table. And you should see that they are equal at x equals 2. Now it's time for you to do some problems on your own. So you have 12 problems to complete on your own, and these will be collected for a grade.